Our destination?
The spookiest true crime podcast.
Let's go for a ride.
Welcome to Girls Trip. Today we are discussing one of the core values of our friendship.
Yes.
True
I would
crime.
agree with that.
I agree with that.
True crime. We have listened to a disturbing amount of
Yes.
podcasts. So it was pretty hard to narrow it down, but we tried to maybe cover some very different types, so they're not all the same. So maybe one will strike your fancy that you'll want to listen to. So they're all, spooky in different ways.
Maybe disclaimer
Sure.
is needed. It's not pretty.
They're not pretty.
It's not good. Little ears, do not listen to this one because I don't know what's wrong with us. I wouldn't label us as gory.
No,
into that kind
It's
of thing.
different, I think, for
But-
me listening to something versus
Yeah,
seeing versus
some of
watching.
these,
100%.
some
Yeah.
of these true crime stories are really
You're just
intense.
Yeah.
Really intense, really bad. So yeah, just know what you're getting yourself into right now.
Yeah. And we're going to try not to get too into the nitty gritty so we
Yeah.
can cover them all, but just enough in case you either decide I definitely never want to listen to that,
Yes,
or I'm downloading it right now.
I want to go
go.
into that. So we're gonna ease everybody in. I think
Yeah.
we'll start with one that's the least spooky of that type.
Okay.
And this is one I think we listened to pretty early on.
I think this was my second podcast that I ever listened to.
Yeah.
The one we're going to talk about.
So this was an original. So the podcast is called Something Was Wrong.
already.
This changed Joy's brain chemistry, I think. This one.
Open your phone, go to your podcast, and type in
This one
this one.
needs to be,
yes.
Something was
listen to.
wrong. There
Yes.
are I don't even know how many seasons there
I
are.
think she was over 20,
There's
right?
26 now, I
Wow,
believe.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for this podcast, it's a little different every season. Some seasons, the whole season is about one story,
Yes.
and other seasons tells different stories
Right.
per episode or
Right.
whatnot. So this is season 12 that we're going to be talking about, and this is the whole season follows this one girl's story. Her name is Kenzie, and this is spooky in kind of a little bit more subtle ways.
Yeah.
You don't feel creeped out necessarily when you're listening to it. There's no gore, there's nothing like that.
But upon reflection,
But upon
Yeah,
reflection,
you're just
you're just
my.
imagining if this happened to you.
Yeah.
no, it's not good.
What?
It's not
Yeah.
good.
So Kenzie meets a guy named Joe, and it's kind of sparks are flying, close to love at first
Love
sight,
bombing
right?
in a
He's
way?
funny, he's successful, yeah. He's going out of his way to be super charming, and unfortunately for Kenzie, this is the best relationship she's ever had.
Yeah, she's wow.
So she's head first jumping in, totally into it. Definitely, I would say not looking for red flags, right?
Oh, yeah.
Looking for the best in every
Yes.
situation.
Yep.
But there are definitely some things about Joe's personal life that are a little suspicious.
Yeah.
A little sus.
A little sus, as
little
they say
sus.
nowadays.
Yeah. And us.
And us.
And I think it's easy when you're listening to the story as you are in the podcast, you're getting it all in one time to be really?
Yeah, it's not over
come
months.
on. How could
it's-
you not catch this?
It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
But
yeah.
she has her friends on the podcast as
Yeah.
well
Yes.
who were with her through this journey, and even they were there were times where we're oh, this sounds, off, but then they would kind of talk themselves off the ledge and
Yeah.
be well, maybe there's an explanation, or they would kind of explain it away. So, you have to imagine that if even your friends are kind of playing into that as well, you're you just really want this to work.
Yeah.
Wasn't the start of this also in in 2020 or something? Was that this one?
I forget when it was.
I think
if
it
that was
I think
COVID.
that's also why it was just I met
she
someone.
if
they were
it's-
like isolated in a way.
Yes.
So
I feel
she was
like
just,
a lot of
human connection.
strange relationships might have happened over
Yeah.
COVID because you decided who you wanted to hunker down with,
Yeah.
essentially. And either people were divorcing during COVID, or they were like meeting new
It was
people
just,
who were like, these are the only people I'm never going to see again for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
That was definitely part of her issue.
It was like,
unfortunately.
oh, there's a human connection here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't want to be myself. Yeah.
But
so
basically, nothing about this guy, nothing that she knew was true.
Nothing.
Which is just like wild to me of how much effort that would take to construct this life
Full-time
that doesn't
job.
exist.
He had a full-time job doing this.
And convince all these people that that's your life.
Yeah.
Even his like accent was fake.
Yep.
Like that's something you have to keep
Yeah,
up
one of the
all the
school for
time.
that?
What'd you do?
This is tough to do without spoiling
Yeah.
anything, but that was probably for me one of the weirdest things to hear her say, that when she confronted him and he knew he was done, he knew that the gig was up, his voice switching. And I think she even said he switched to like a different accent just to like prove a point.
Right.
And she was like, she
Like,
got
that's too
yeah,
much.
no, that, and I think it's so interesting, like the psychology of it all, like how someone does that to another person
With no remorse.
no remorse,
Just carries on with their life. Yep.
no remorse, no feeling bad for them.
No.
Yeah, they have no empathy.
It
nothing.
doesn't exist.
They
That's
just
very
move on to the
interesting to,
next
me.
person.
I think that would be somewhat under the description of a psychopath. I think.
Yeah.
I would say so. Yeah.
Like just to, and also a
they're
liar,
manipulating, compulsive
a
liar.
compulsive liar. Like you,
narcissist, compulsive
Yeah,
liar.
all of
like
it,
we get
all
all
of it.
those things in
all
here.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I remember listening to a therapist talking about narcissism. First of all, it's used way too much. We use that word
Yeah.
way too much. But a real narcissist, we think that means like they're just so full of themselves. Like they just think they're unstoppable. Really what that is they have so many unbelievably layered insecurities that they need
Inflate
they
themselves,
need
yeah.
to inflate themselves to make everyone else around them think that they're a certain way. But really they
Classic bully.
it is. And that's how it comes out sometimes.
Yeah.
And a lot of these stories, you do see someone acting that way who is a bullying type of person over somebody.
right.
Yeah, that's a common thread.
Yeah. So there, when we were remembering this, I wrote out like 9 things that he lied about. 9. And they just get increasingly wild. So
Yeah.
it starts with the accent, and that's like nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And then it just gets so insane, which I don't want to give away if you're interested in listening to it, but to a point where like Kenzie thinks that people are following them and they're sort of being semi-stalked for different reasons, which is to me the spookiest part. Like imagine really believing
Yeah.
that someone
Yes.
is like parking their car and like watching your every move. Like
Yeah.
how do you function? I don't even
Well,
know.
he convinces her. It's a lot of gaslighting going on.
So much.
because
Yeah.
he convinces her that she's thinking to herself, I think I'm crazy. I think I'm going crazy. When she's not. She's just being lied to about everything.
Everything.
It's so
Yeah,
sad.
and you just
Oh.
can't
No.
tell reality from, apart. So yeah, very, very fascinating. The story is just like I had to tell someone about it when I listened to it. I was like, you need to listen to this.
We were at mom and dad's house and you were at the kitchen table and I'm eating Cheetos. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, keep going.
What? And you didn't hold back.
No.
You told me like
I think I told you everything.
everything. I still went home
And
and
you
I was
still
like, I'm
listened
binging
to
this whole thing right now.
Yes. And then the like most infuriating part was probably the end where you kind of find out like, I've done this before.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it again.
And
like,
I don't care.
You're meaningless.
You're
and
meaningless.
Like, this is something that turned her life inside out, upside down. And to him, it was just like, I'm moving on like immediately. And I'm just like,
No
whoa.
repercussions
Yep.
for him.
Wow. Yep.
That's also, I think, in those type of podcasts or scenarios. And I think we might have discussed this before, but like, what do? You call the cops and be like,
Right.
so I've been,
That's the craziest
What do
part.
you
I'm
do?
There's nothing you can do.
I'm sure we'll hit others.
Yeah.
But I was talking about this with my husband, yelling, and I was like, how is this not illegal? Like, how is it not illegal to lie about your identity? And it's like, it is, but it's not. Like, the law hasn't.
It's so hard to nail them on it.
Weird how that's. I'm like, how is that not fraud? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, where does the line stop there? It's very, very interesting to me and very angry.
It really comes more down to money. Like, if there's not a very strong money trail,
no, he didn't take anything from her.
then the emotional part. You know, he did in a way.
Yeah.
Well, he was living at her house.
He was living at her house. I don't want to give it away, but they did that big house project for a specific reason that didn't exist. So you're spending money, but it's not like he's taking it from you and then doing something else. Like, you're agreeing to do this thing.
No, that's true.
So
that's true. Oh
it's very hard to prove the emotional.
12 minutes and we've gotten one episode.
I know. Okay, moving on. So that was like just getting your feet wet, okay?
Yeah. It's a great starter podcast.
It's a great starter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we're moving on for the more hardcore true crime people.
Thrill seekers.
So this one I remember pretty well because we did do a podcast PowerPoint party for this one and a few others.
Throwback.
So we got pretty deep into this one. This is called Bear Brook, 2 words, Bear Brook. This is season 1. And it investigates the murders of what was called the Allenstown 4, which was a cold case in New Hampshire involving bodies that are found in barrels in the woods. So you're starting out
You're just like, here we are.
pretty spooky. I mean, imagine, and I think it was some kids who discovered
found
that.
it,
Like,
yeah.
you're just out there playing in the woods and you find bodies. Like, you're scarred for life.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like,
that's it.
That's a little rough.
She said effortlessly.
Yeah. That just is. So this is back in the 80s. This was 1985. And then, so how many years is that? From 1985, the original barrels were discovered. Then jump ahead to 2000. And that is when a second barrel was found, like not that far away, which is part of the investigation. Like, how did it take them
that long
to find this second barrel? But then the so each barrel I think had 2 bodies in it, so it became 4. And then they were unidentified for decades. They just, no one knew who they were, and it ended up just being this, I think, like, amateur sleuth who
not a genealogist, that's not the word, but it was someone
she
was one who wanted
she was
to,
a
like,
librarian and a genealogical researcher.
Okay, that's what it was.
And she's the one who ended up tracking
Really
down
trying.
this, like, familial DNA and figuring out who they were.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. And then that one was, to me, was just the way that they really set the scene, like the stage in that podcast. So you're feeling like you're there and uncovering all of this.
I do remember feeling a bit of depression at the end of it.
Yeah,
just like
kind of
like a weight, kind of just like, oh, this is just brutal.
Like, you feel like, okay, there was like a bow and whatever on it tied, but you're kind of like,
I don't know. There was something about that one that it, like, left a slight uneasy feeling in me. Just the weirdness of it, everything about it. It just gave me like a weird feeling.
Yeah.
Which spooky.
Which is spooky.
hello.
The hardest part for me, so something that we talk about often when it comes to podcasts is we're always looking for one that's solved.
Yes.
Have to.
Otherwise, you're like,
The cold case ones are so hard to listen to. You're just like, I want a satisfying ending. I want to know what happened.
Yeah.
And so this one was a very interesting dichotomy because it's solved.
Yeah.
It's not a cold case anymore. So you end up finding out who did it. But it's not, like, fully satisfying because there's no explanation for why he did it. Like, you killed 4 people and there's no explanation. And there never will be one because the guy who did it is dead.
I think that's what was disappointing is, like, they found out, they figured it, but you're just like, okay, we can't take action on this.
That's probably
Like,
that's probably why I didn't love it as much as the others, because there's a sense of, like, completion when we finish these long episodes. You're like invested emotionally, and you're like, at least there was a reason for it. It was a horrible reason. It doesn't matter what the reason was, but at least there was a reason. When when the motive is a complete question mark, I don't know. It just
you're
makes
just
you
like,
feel so like
what?
how, why, how? It just doesn't feel good.
Yeah, and they speculate on some potential motives, but none of them seem like motives worthy of murder.
Yeah,
You're
you're
like,
just like,
really? That
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
That made him kill 4 people?
Yeah, and put them in barrels.
And put them in barrels, and
Yeah.
then they just like that was it. Like he didn't even have to try that hard.
Yeah.
They just
Yep.
stuck him in the woods, and no one knew
And
about
walked
it
away.
and walked away.
So weird.
Like imagine that could be anybody,
So
and like
weird.
just no one's gonna find you because it's too hard to do
Yep.
that.
So
Wild.
weird.
I feel like unintentionally, but I feel like we're kind of creating a bell curve. So this next one, we're at the top of the
getting to the top.
spookiness meter, and then we're gonna
Ooh. I
then
know
we're
which
gonna
one this
come.
is.
I know where
come
this
back
is going.
down. Yeah, this one I think
This messed you up a little bit.
was the roughest
Yeah.
out of every other one that I've listened to, because it was definitely the most gruesome.
Yeah.
I think. I don't think we've listened to anything
Oh,
close to
not
this.
even close. I think I was just shocked the whole time listening to this person talk.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, you are possessed.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like something
Yeah.
is wrong.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
not with it.
This
so
one
that's,
was
I think
rough.
I was just
This was
like,
bad.
Dang.
This was bad.
So, I mean, we should have known the title. I don't know what we were thinking. This is called Severed Affair, The Gruesome Murder of Shad Thyrion, I believe it's called.
What a weird-
Shad?
That's his name,
I do
Shad.
not remember his name being
Name.
Shad.
Shad Thyrion.
Yeah.
Thyrion. So he was a 24-year-old guy from Green Bay, Wisconsin. And he was brutally murdered and dismembered by, I forget if it was officially his girlfriend.
It
Or
was a friendly girl.
a friendly girl.
I
Yeah.
was like, I don't even know if they put a title.
Not his, like, from what I remember.
Not like a full
his-
relationship.
No, it was like a very close friend who may or may not have had feelings for him.
Yeah.
Maybe like a friends with benefits situation.
Type situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to I don't even really feel comfortable saying all of the details on
Yeah, we
YouTube,
can-
so
we'll leave those
we won't
out.
get into it.
It's called Severed Affair.
Severed
I
Affair.
just remember that.
And let's just say, if you're not comfortable, like it's I think first episode you're like head
You're
found
in
in a
it.
bucket.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're just like,
And it gets so much worse
Worse.
from there. Like unimaginably worse. And if I'm remembering correctly, what was like so freaky and horrible was that didn't it happen in the basement of his parents'
Yes.
home?
Yes.
yes.
Right?
And they had,
And they had no idea, like none
They're upstairs
whatsoever,
sleeping.
and had no idea that this had happened. And I think it was his mom who discovered the bucket. I want to say,
I think it was.
Or was the dad?
I think it was the mom who first knew something was wrong,
Okay.
and then she maybe called the dad and was like, "Go downstairs."
okay, but
And
it was the
he-
parents
It was the
parents,
parents who
yeah.
found it. Yeah.
who had to figure that out. I mean, it's in your own home, but like, I don't know how I'd be like, I'm never setting foot in that house again.
oh yeah, be like, we're selling, goodbye.
Oh,
leaving.
definitely.
Wouldn't stay in the same state.
No,
county.
like,
Nope.
Gone.
to know that's like just right below you that this horrific
No.
tragedy was taking place. I can't imagine.
I don't know how they
That if I didn't
lived through that.
listen through that through a lens of someone interested in like how could she do something like
Yeah.
this, it would have been more disturbing. But because
I think
if you-
that's why I was
you look at
still
it
just
almost
like,
like-
what was going? What
yeah,
the heck
you like look at it like
triggered that?
clinically almost
Yeah.
like how can I figure out like your brain patterns here that you
Yeah.
thought that like this was okay?
Yeah.
How did we arrive here? And because if you think about that versus like the horrificness of what happened, that you're gonna turn it off after episode 3.
Yeah.
But it is interesting like how someone like she turned off a part of her brain.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
Well, that's
didn't
what
have
Rebecca was
something.
saying. Like
Yeah.
when you hear her talk, there's not even like like when the police bring her in. There's no denial of the crime.
It's
Yeah.
just, here
There's
it
no
is.
like
Yep.
I'm claiming I'm innocent.
No.
She just kind of talks about it like she's talking about her grocery list.
Yeah,
and you're like,
something
what?
like
You're
a
like-
switch flipped.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't.
And you're like, I've never heard anyone
Talk like that.
sound
Yeah.
like that.
Very weird, but very interesting. Very spooky.
Very spooky. Very. So I feel like that is the height of,
Oh, it's the height.
of
Yeah.
spookiness. Okay, then we'll start to come back.
I need a
down
downer. I need a
little
downer.
bit, a little bit. So this one is called Appalachian Mysteria. This is season 2 called Big Savage, and this one was just bizarre.
It was
like
bizarre.
a bizarre spookiness.
Was this one that they were updating the episodes as they were kind of gathering information like in real time?
I think so. Yes. So this was 2017 when it actually happened, and it's a young guy named Alexander Stevens, and he is found dead in Savage River State Forest, which is in Maryland, which is why it's called Big Savage. And by his body, I want to say he was nude when they found
think
him,
so.
I believe. And by his body are all these kind of weird things suggesting some sort of like ritualistic, cultish
Yeah.
sort of thing. And then his female friend, Megan, also emerges from the woods, and she's naked and injured and like hypothermic.
Yeah.
Is that a word? Did I just
Yep,
make that up?
hypothermic.
Okay. And
She just asked us.
I know, I
for
was like
help on a word.
saying that out loud. I was
I
like,
didn't even respond. Because
I almost
I'm
I was gonna say
that's not real.
hypothermia, and then I was like hypothermic.
No, hypothermic.
Can I
yeah.
make that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thomas used the word rejoiceful today.
Sure.
Love you, babe.
Whatever.
I didn't even correct him. What? You're adorable. Anyway, hypothermic.
Hypothermic, yeah.
So basically, the crazy bizarre part about this is, I think she ends up being yes. So the trial is covered day by day,
Yes.
and comes in, and the friend Megan ends up being convicted of second degree murder. But there's still so much
This one was not
unknown. You're kind
to
of like,
me,
wait, what?
uncertainty.
Yeah.
I was not satisfied
Yeah.
with this one. It was
Yeah, it ends and you're just kinda like-
I did not get it. Like I feel like there's an underground something that we just
yeah.
don't know about. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
And we'll never know, apparently, because there's some things that she even was like,
I feel like she had memory loss or claimed.
I
that
mean,
she had
she
memory
definitely,
loss.
she initially claimed, I think she had memory loss, but it was kind of partly like that maybe the ritualistic things were planted and not true,
Okay.
I
Maybe.
think. And then there was a weird discovery that she had been made the beneficiary of a very large sum of money
Yes.
upon his
yes, I
his
remember
death.
That. Yep.
And then but then it kind of went towards like assisted suicide, and this was something that he wanted,
Yes.
and she was helping him.
Yes, it was bizarre.
So she
remembering
just kind of
a
kept
clip.
changing her story.
But any way you
kept going.
slice it,
Yeah.
she had something.
She had
was
something
involved.
to do with it.
She was involved, and that alone, they were like, "Let's
You're
just
like, okay.
Yeah.
let's just
Okay,
wrap this
sweetheart.
up." Yeah, you're going to jail.
Yeah. So that was just a bizarre one, because there's a conclusion.
Yeah.
It's solved, but you're just sort of like,
Wow.
So bizarre.
What really happened
Yeah.
there?
So
and,
bizarre.
Walking through that. So
Yeah.
very interesting. Okay, next we have one called Escaping. What is it
Oh,
called?
NXIVM?
NXIVM. Thank you. Escaping
Yes.
NXIVM.
This one was a good one.
I watched. I
We
listened
watched
to
the
the podcast.
documentary.
I watched one documentary. I watched another documentary.
Yeah. Oh, and I listened to the other podcast.
I heard his name referenced in a show. Like
you were like,
like
I know that
years
guy.
later, and I was like, I know him. I know him. It was so funny. I was like, whoa! I was really into this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
This
this
was
follows
awesome.
the story of a woman named Sarah Edmondson, and she was a former very high-ranking member of NXIVM, which is a cult, essentially. But it was branded as a self-improvement group.
As many are.
As many
You
are.
know.
Led by a guy named Keith Rainier.
I said Ranieri. Is it Ranieri?
Ranieri?
Yeah.
Ranieri?
I don't
I don't
know.
know. Whatever you feel like.
Creep. Keith creepy.
Super, super creepy. And And it's what was the spookiest part to me, and why I added it to the list, was like all of these women are super smart and accomplished women and so driven and ambitious and all of these things, and yet they were totally manipulated,
brainwashed, all of it,
to do wild, crazy things and be put in a position where they literally were being called slaves.
Yep.
And going with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so to think that anyone can ultimately be like our minds are that malleable.
Yeah.
That it doesn't matter who you are, that something can strike you and put you in this position to where you are willingly branding yourself.
Yep.
Branding yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Permanently.
And also not like a quick and easy one.
No.
With,
like they made it torture.
And no pain meds. Like
no pain meds.
It was at that, like, we can't not say the word. Like at that point it gets like a little demonic.
Yeah.
Like you got like
100%.
weird, like the people.
like-
That's why I'm like, people don't just wake up one day and decide like, I'm going to give my life to this thing. Like it is a slow burn.
I don't
no
know
pun
if they
intended.
mentioned how long that process was, like between it starting and like, was it years?
Oh, it was definitely years.
Yeah.
But was it like, I don't remember if it was like 5 years. Was it 10 years?
It
Like,
was.
It was.
I want to say 3 to 5
I want
years.
to say 3 to 5.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
That
No, we're not
long?
talking about 30 years.
Yeah.
We're
No, no,
talking
no,
about a fairly short timeline. But the thing, we say this all the time, the thing that drives us crazy about these cult leaders is that like you look at them and you're like,
I'm sorry, what?
What's appealing
Yeah,
about
you're
that?
like,
I just don't get it. Like, sorry, Keith, you look like a potato. Like, it's rough. It's rough. What is it? And they're like, he was just so brilliant. And it's
Yeah.
like, was he?
Well, that's like there's clearly a hole. There's a hole in you that you're looking to fill because they made them all like the reason most of these women went as far as they did, even when there were clearly red flags, was because they force you to submit something incriminating.
Yeah.
Whether it's, I don't know, emails or nude photos or secrets about
to your
yourself.
parents or
Right. A
something.
letter
Yeah.
to your parents so that they can blackmail you.
Yep.
So that into doing whatever they want. And then you're so scared that this is going to get out and ruin your career, ruin your family, ruin whatever, that you just keep going deeper and then you can't get out.
Yeah. This, to me, this type of stuff is even more top tier than the catfish stuff. This is this is the most interesting to me.
And there was an actress in this that
Yes.
I forget, from Smallville.
Smallville, I think. Mhm.
One of the actresses from that you were like,
Thomas
you got involved.
Thomas was obsessed with Smallville when he was younger.
Yes.
And as I'm listening to this,
You're like,
and they mentioned that part, I'm like, this actress, she was in this cult, and I think a little part of him like died that day. He was so disappointed. It's like, I think she was one of the ones that like didn't really come out of it either.
She
At least of when this was released and documentary.
Yeah,
and
she
stuff.
kind of got into a little bit of legal trouble.
She
I
did.
think
She
with
was
it.
really deep.
Yeah, she was really deep
Because
in
the
that.
thing that they do, a lot of these cult leaders, first of all, I mean, 9 out of 10 times it's a man, and they recruit women to control the other women.
because they know that they're not. Gonna
So
be
it
able to-
doesn't look like it's all coming from just like a oppressive man.
Right,
Like they control one or two top ones, and then they just
Totally.
control the rest.
All right. Well, we could go on forever, but we won't. But let us know if you're interested.
Okay.
And maybe we'll do a part 2 in the
knows?
future. Or if you have a specific kind of podcast you're interested in the true crime genre.
Who knows?
That's our specialty. Let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done that. And most importantly, don't forget to enjoy the view wherever your ride takes you.